Hello everyone, and today I'm gonna present the final project that I'm working on actually. So it's about comparing and contrast a dual implementation of an expense approval workflow. So for that, I went through um, two versions of using um, Azure functions. So the first one will be a durable function that I'm going to present right now. And the second part will be using um, logic apps and service bus. All right, so for this first durable function version, so first of all, of course, I went through, I prepare a function app which is what we get here. So inside that function app, I define different step that the function will actually do. So the first will be starting the orchestration, and the second part will be the orchestrator itself with a timeout section here that I fix at 30 seconds, and the third part will be a validation of a request, and the fourth part will be a notification, and finally the fifth part will be a manager response. So actually how this function durable function works. So to be able to test this durable function, I'm going to use this test durable http. So it's basically again, before I will start talking about that, so let's make clear what this function is doing. Is an HTTP trigger that starts the workflow. So then we have a durable orchestrator, and we have also the activity function for validation, processing, and notification that I just mentioned earlier, and a human interaction pattern using wait for external event or create timer. So that's basically the manager response part. And finally, an HTTP endpoint tool for manager approval or rejection. Okay, so here is where the test will be running. So to be able to do that, I will first start my function. Okay, so for my function, I'm gonna run this one, fn f5. So that's where my function starts. So so we're gonna test actually four case. So the first case will be the amount is just less than $100 dollars. So when I click send request here, so here my function is ready to start here now. So let me just send a request here. So we see that the response is sent. So and all the my function orchestration part run here. So I'm gonna show it also in Azure quickly. My function here, I just call it no, that's not what I want. That's the back function app. So here approve notified. These are the whole pattern of my function here. All right, so and those are just running right here as well. So we have the function start, the orchestrator, the function validate, the orchestrator again, the notify, and notify. Here we have the email that has been sent to the person, and it says approve with the status approve. All right, so that's the first case. So the second case will be we required, we send the manager required, so an amount where the amount is over 100. So let's in our case here, I propose 200. So I'm gonna just close that one and then send a request here again. So after here, we can see um, here within 30 seconds, I have to send a response back here. So when I send this one right here, so what do we get here? We get approved. So this request, which is above 200, has to be approved or rejected. So in this case, I just approve it. So I'm gonna rerun again send another request here. This time we're gonna test a rejection. So I'm gonna do it here. Send this request. We got a status rejected here. So that's the third part. And finally, this time we're gonna experience a timeout. So for the timeout, I'm gonna send again another request. So here we just need to wait for 30 seconds. If within 30 seconds we don't get any response from the manager, so it will automatically send a message showing like timeout and is not proceed, right? So uh, that's what we're gonna get here. So we're just waiting for the 30-second to be elapsed. So right there, we get it here. So the email have been sent to, and the status is escalated. The reason is because it's timeout. All right, so this is for the first part, the first version of using Azure Durable. All right, so for the second part of this project, we want to talk about the version 2, which using um, actually AppLogix uh, and also Azure Service Bus. So I'm gonna show quickly where I put those services here. So they're basically here. So if I come into my resource group, so to develop this second service, so I'm using the function, of course, and the logic app that I call process expense here, and service bus here. And so that's pretty much what are the surface that I'm using. And here is the function. I'm gonna quickly explain the function. So it basically has two parts: submit the expenses and validate the expenses, which called the logic apps. So let's jump into the logic app, and then I will explain quickly the logic app, and then make a demo of how it works. So here's the logic apps here. So here I use the service bus when a message is received. So I decode the message and using this base and pass the JSON with the output of the decode message HTTP call the function here with a post, and then initialize the variable status and reason. So for the condition here, we say whenever we have an amount less than 100, when that is true, then it's come here, it's go all the way to this path here. So it's set the status again to approved, and here we send a message, and then is send a topic for the approved um, approved message, right? Approved amount. Okay, so on the other hand, if the amount is greater, we say less. If it's greater than 100 here, right? So if it's greater than 100, so then it goes to the false part, which is simply means this amount is greater than 100. So, and for here, we need the manager approbation first. So is the manager approve it or not? So, and that's where we give a little bit of delay here for 30 seconds to let the manager decide. So if the manager uh, approve this amount. So here, the amount is greater than 100 for sure. So, but here again, we have another condition. If within that amount, see, if the amount is like 500, so if the amount is greater than 500, so if the amount is greater than 500, it goes to false. But otherwise, sorry, if is greater than 100, so 500, it goes to true here. It comes to true. So the manager will definitely reject that one. So that's what we said here. It will reject it. It will send a message and uh, and then a topic of rejection. But on the other hand, if the amount is less or equal to 500, so we got two cases here. So we want to check the status first. Is the chat status, will the manager will approve it or not approve it? So that's basically what it is here. If the manager didn't respond at all, so that's what I call here, we set like escalated state status here. So basically the manager didn't respond, so he just ignored the approbation. So and so we send a message with the status saying escalated. So no response. On the other hand, if the manager responds, so approve it, so we will have approve, status approve, and we will send it to the topic approve. So, okay, so basically, let's me show quickly my topic here. So here are my topics. So approve serve, escalated serve, and rejected serve. So I'm gonna make a demo here. So let's go with this one first. Yeah, so I'm gonna send so here I made like an HTTP for myself to be able to make that demo quicker. So here if I click on send here, so amount less than 100 here, 50. So I'm gonna get a message here, so I'm sending it to myself. So just waiting for the message to come here. So, and the other example will be sending an amount that's greater than 100. So, all right, so I got my message here. So it says approve, check boomer amount, so status approve. So definitely that goes straight. So now let's get a case where the amount is for 600, I will say, and I will make that as well. So but that one definitely, if it's 600, then it will be rejected. So of course before that we receive that message, let me show my topic here. So I got one approved, it was 14, so let me refresh, we got 15 here, so that's correct. So one approved is in my topic. Now next I send a message. Okay, here we go. This is what 600. So I'm gonna reply here. Is 600. I'm gonna reject it because this amount is greater than what is supposed to be. So uh rejected. So here we go, is rejected. So this equipment has been rejected. So let me show quickly the topic here. Rejection, we were 5, so this should be, if I refresh, 6. Perfect. So now let's have this amount to be 500 for now. So for 500, so I will be 500 here. So Let me save it quicker and make another post request. So here I need to, I will just leave it like that. I won't respond. So if I don't respond here, we will get an escalated message that will follow up within 30 seconds. So that's what it is here. And so let me show here my topic again. So we just moved to escalated serve, right? So 4, and my message here is, let me show my message. Okay, escalated. I didn't respond it. So timeout, no manager response, timeout. Now the last case that we will have now will be, let me show here. Let me show here, it is 500, right? So, but here I'm gonna just, I'm gonna just keep the I'm gonna just keep the 500 here, right? But instead I'm gonna approve it, right? So here I want to approve it. So let me just send another request here, send. Okay, okay, another, waiting for that. I'm gonna reply approve here. Okay, so okay, we just have an approbation here, say approved. All right, so this is what we get for this demo. All right, so thank you everyone for watching this, and this how the second version of our um, application or deployment works. So, but I will put more details in about the pro and cons of these two ways of using um, the Azure duration, duration durable function, and on the other hand, while using Logic App and Serverless, which one I prefer? Honestly, my answer will be the durable function is quicker, and but on the other hand, the Logic App and Service Bus need more work, and setting more stuff. But I think it take more time, but I would say it's more safer compared to the Azure Durable Function, which is kind of faster, but and I would say it's also safe in terms of security, right? So, but honestly, I would prefer to go with the Azure Durable Function. All right, thank you everyone for listening, and take care.